Hi everyone, Letty here. Today I'm going to do a craft with me video where we make mini candy stocking favors using Dollar Tree candy. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and prepped everything off camera, but we will be assembling some of them. I'm using these Dollar Tree candy bags, which are the sixlets. They're really cute. They're the red, white, and green, perfect for the holidays. I really like those. I got 2 bags of them. Each bag comes with 25. I'm going to be using a 1-inch circle punch just to add a mini sentiment. I'm going to use this Echo Park Celebrate Christmas stamp set. I'm using that little bitty Merry Christmas stamp. And then I'm also going to be using this Sizzix stocking framelit, this die. And I'm also using the Bella Boulevard Holly Jolly Christmas. This was something I had picked up in a D-stash as well as that stocking die. So I was actually kind of excited to use up some of this. And then I have already glued some of these stockings off camera. But like I said, I will be showing you some of the patterns and we'll glue some together. So you see how it makes a small little pocket. It's not very big, which is perfect for these sixlets because these candies are pretty small. And I show you there where I have the little sentiment on the corner of the stocking. So again, I have 5 different patterns, 5 different combinations. We're going to be doing one of each one. I will be using my Barely Art glue for the wet glue. I do recommend using wet glue for this since you will be putting something in the stocking. You don't want the candy to get stuck to the double-sided tape, which stays wet. So these are all the components that I have. I have 2 of the stocking bases, which I'll glue together. Then I'm going to layer it on with the pattern paper, just like I'm showing you here. And then I'm going to add a sentiment at the toe. And you can do this any which way. You don't even have to have a die. You could, in theory, just make a stocking template similar to this, which is a really straightforward pattern, and then just trace and cut out or use your silhouette or your Cricut. This super, super easy pattern. And a lot of the stores, actually, the craft stores will sometimes have these stocking shapes already die cut for you. So all I did was add some wet glue around the sides of the stocking, but I did leave the top open. So that way when I glue it, it would still leave a little hole at the top. And I don't try to open it too much because it's still trying to dry, but I will show you later where we stick the candy in. Then I'm just going to add the stocking decorations. And if you make your own patterns, you don't have to do this layering process. You could just use 2 pieces of pattern paper to make these, but because I had the die and it was a layering die, I went ahead and used the pattern paper to add just a little bit more dimension to it. But again, you do not have to do this. And so then now I'm just adding the top part of the stocking, and you literally could stop right here. You don't necessarily have to keep going. You could stop right there and just do the basic stocking. I am going to go ahead and include the toe and the little heel part of this, almost making it look like a sock, because again, it was part of this die set by Sizzix. So I'm going to just go ahead and add these 2 little pieces extra. And again, in theory, you could literally stop right here and not add a sentiment. You could just literally, stop right there and have your stocking, pretty much ready to go as well. But because I wanted to add a little bit of a sentiment, I went ahead and die cut out some white circles with that circle punch. I didn't die cut, I'm sorry. I punched out white circles and then I added the sentiment on it. So here's my fully assembled stocking. So that was the first combination. I'm going to just go through and just really quickly glue through the remaining 4 stockings. These were all the different combination of pattern paper that I had. So you see I kind of mix and match different patterns. They're a little bit more of a feminine pattern, but these actually were something that I gave out at work to my coworkers, and we're mostly women at work, so it actually worked out just fine. So I'm just gluing down all of the pieces. And these little, candy favors are super inexpensive to make. Again, you do not have to have a die for this. You could easily trace the pattern of a stocking, which is a very basic stocking. If you had a large enough cookie cutter, in theory, you could even trace one of your cookie cutters. Or again, a lot of the craft stores will have already die cut stocking cutouts that you could easily glue together or again use as a template. So really straightforward. You can see this is a very basic process. And again, the candy that I'm using is relatively small and thin, and that works best in these little stockings. You could, if your stocking was wide enough, you could technically put a gift card in it. My stockings were not wide enough for that. But again, if you're doing your own template, in theory, you could make it as big as you needed to or as wide as you needed to in order to house a gift card right inside. So you could put a gift card and a little chocolate, or, you know, like maybe like an airhead or something that was kind of flat, that it would easily fit in there. And we're on the last one. Super easy. Again, you're going to want to leave that hole open at the top, glue down the 2 bases, and then I'm just adding the decorative paper as an embellishment to the front to decorate it. Super basic, super easy. Just like that. We're rearing the end of it. And one of the nice things about Dollar Tree, especially around the holidays, is there's so many options of candies available. So we've finished our 5 stockings that we're going to be doing on camera. I did do an additional 10 off camera, so I have 3 of each pattern, 15 total. And again, I'm going to be using these sixlets that I got from Dollar Tree. They usually have these every holiday season. They have some year round, but these specific Christmas ones are the ones that they have during the holidays. So I know I have purchased these in the past. So what I'm doing is I'm basically squeezing in 3 of the sixlets right on the inside of the stocking. And I'm opening the stocking as much as I can. And then I'm just kind of pushing down the sixlets in, and I apologize, I do go off camera a little bit here, but then I'll come back in. So see, these are what the final products will look like. You could also add if you had a bunch of stickers, which I do, I should have done this. You can actually add stickers to the front of your stocking, maybe like a picture of Santa or a reindeer or a snowman or whatever. You could also technically add a little tag hanging off of the side. You could add somebody's name to the top of the stocking. You could add the first letter of their initial of their first name to the front of the stocking, to the top part. You could embellish this with some, you know, felt, or, I mean, you literally, the sky's the limit on these. I was trying to make them relatively quickly. You know me, I like my projects very quick and easy, so I did not go that far in as far as embellishing, but you literally could. You could add sequins, you could add, you know, glitter, you could just do whatever you needed to or wanted to at that point. But again, I kept them pretty simple, and you can see here, I'm able to add in those 3 pieces of candy. You can try to squeeze in more. I believe more would have fit. The Barely Art glue is really good. I really have been enjoying using this wet glue. The one thing that I did notice, and it says it on the package, you do have to leave a few minutes for it to dry. And that's exactly what you absolutely do. But it actually works really fabulously. So here are all my candy grams, or my favors. I used, again, the Holly Jolly Christmas by Bella Boulevard. I used this Sizzix stocking die. And then I'm using this stamp set by Echo Park, which is Celebrate Christmas, to make all of these candy favors. And again, I use that Dollar Tree candy. So thanks for visiting. I hope you subscribe, like this video, and follow me on Instagram. Happy holidays, everyone. Bye-bye.